This is a super compressed review as always, so let's get straight into it. The MOZA AY210 yoke base, bit of a clunky name, has a steel frame and housing which really feels high-end. It's heavy and needs to be securely clamped onto your desk. MOZA's clamps themselves are tiny but super sturdy. The only thing some people might miss is a bit of rubber protection for your desk. Clamping it down also is required because the motors are providing up to 9 Nm continuous torque on roll and peak forces of 210 Newton on pitch. For context, 9 Nm is already on par with high-end sim racing wheels, while 210 Newton linear force equals roughly 21 kilograms of push or pull force. That's about 46 pounds in old money, roughly 3.5 stone or 11,852 drams. That's more than enough to give you proper force feedback or to yeet a gerbil across half a football field. Not that you should. In practice, that means, depending on the plane, you feel aerodynamic resistance build up as you accelerate, control surfaces locking up in high-speed dives, vibration from flaps or gear, and even stall buffet. On roll, the movement feels especially smooth with no hint of the stepping or roughness you often notice in lower-end motors. Travel is 150 mm on pitch and 90 degrees on roll, which is excellent. And they added force trim in the meantime. This means your handle moves physically as you trim the plane. You can even activate simulated force trim now if a game doesn't deliver the required telemetry. Lighting on the base is subtle, with green LEDs that improve low light visibility without being distracting. On the left side is a 6-pack of the same glorious metal toggles MOZA uses on their MTP throttle. Nothing bad to say about them. The button cluster on the right is okay, just a bunch of membrane buttons but workable. The flap toggle feels sturdy too, while the rest of the controls fall a bit short. The 4-position switch feels a bit wobbly and the cap a bit cheap. The same goes for the gear lever, which operates nicely mechanically, but the grip is plasticky and feels hollow and flimsy. I think MOZA should upgrade these a bit. Now let's move on to the handle. The MOZA MFY Yoke handle has a quick release system, so you can swap to other styles in the future, which is quite neat. Right now there's only this one grip, but it's really versatile. 2 4-way hat switches, 2 contactless mini sticks with center push, 4 buttons, 2 of them nice micro switches, plus rear triggers that can double as rudder input if you don't use or have pedals. That's great for compact setups. And for VR users in particular, the number of bindings directly on the handle is a big bonus. Lastly, there are more tact switch buttons on the grip's face, and you even get a little checklist. The grip is made of thick, high-quality plastic. The handles feel sturdy and comfortable, with thumb rest and overall good ergonomics. The only controls that aren't always easily accessible are the mini sticks. You'll probably need to lift your hands to reach them. The hats and the mini sticks feel flimsier and a bit cheaper compared to the rest of the controls. Still, the other parts hold up well and the overall impression is premium. The MOZA cockpit software is straightforward. Calibration is easy since the system auto-calibrates itself on startup. You can customize the force curves, vibration strength, and the dynamic response. Maybe not as deep as longer established systems, but still deep enough to spend weeks fine-tuning your setup. And that's at least for me enough. Out of the box, it just works in Microsoft Flight Simulator and supports other major sims like X-Plane and DCS. In virtual flight, the immersion is impressive. On takeoff, you feel resistance build up as the aircraft gains speed. In cruise, the controls feel stable and precise. You can feel stalls before they occur. Force feedback in general is just a game changer. It goes far beyond a static spring yoke, and once you've tasted the feedback ambrosia, it's hard to go back. Pricing is about €769 for the base, plus €159 for the handle. That means it's kinda affordable while still offering premium mechanics and the quick release design. There's still some legal drama around the software though. If you want the details, watch my MOZA AB9 review or check Reddit. Until the question about the origin of the force feedback code is resolved, I'll keep this disclaimer in so you know exactly what you're buying into. So, who's this for? If you're into general aviation or airliners and you want proper force feedback, this is easily one of the best yokes currently available, especially at this price. While the hardware seems to be quite sturdy, time will tell if that's true. The software is good, but not yet great. Stability and game support is advancing and expanding with every update though. Check out my review of the MOZA MTP throttle here. It's a well-built throttle and fills out a specific niche quite well. Thanks for stopping by, fly safe, and I'll see you there in a bit.